New Mexico. An American Airlines pilot flying from Kentucky to Phoenix last weekend called air traffic control to report a close encounter with an unknown object. Take a listen.
Have any targets up here? We just had something go right over the top of us that, I hate to say this, looked like a long cylindrical object. It almost looked like a cruise missile type of thing moving really fast that went right over the top of us.
American Airlines confirms that radio call was real but had no further comment. The FBI says it's aware of the incident and is looking into it. Add to the list of things on our minds. X-Files music right now.
All right, Shalom.
These are the last.
First and foremost, as always, want to give all the praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth through the Spirit. Then I want to give a special peace and blessings and salutations to the elect. All right, I'm the brother Zion. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to feed the sheep and the lambs of Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. And I seen this online, so I went to Google and typed it in. And a lot of reliable sources, okay, pops up on Google, okay, when you look it up. Now this pilot saw an object, all right, flying over him, okay, a long cylinder-like object. And this is from, what is this, from NBC? It says American Airlines pilot reports seeing a long cylindrical object fly over plane. The pilot saw the strange object while flying over New Mexico on Sunday. And you see how these devils kind of blew it off when they reported it. You know, if you watch it, let's watch this clip again. They kind of blow it off, you know, at the end, like it's nothing, but really they're afraid. You know, really they're afraid. We'll play it at the end. I want to read some of this because I want to look up a word. All right, and this happened today in the morning. This was reported. It says an American Airlines pilot reported seeing a long cylindrical object come strategically close to the aircraft as it was flying over New Mexico. Now, when you look up this word, all right, it says having straight parallel sides and a circular or oval cross section in the shape or form of a cylinder. Woo! A circular or oval cross section. Now, when you read the scriptures, it clearly tells you that what? The chariots are described as what? Flying rolls. Okay, now the chariots can also come in many different shapes, you know, many different sizes. Okay, so it says the strange incident which happened Sunday during a flight from Kentucky to Phoenix is being looked into by the FBI, the agency said in a statement. The pilot called air traffic control, Salakia, shortly after noon local time to report seeing the object, according to the Federal Aviation Administration. Do you have any targets up here? The pilot is heard asking on a radio transmission. We just had something go over the top of us that, I hate to say this, looked like a long cylindrical object. It almost looked like a cruise missile type of thing moving really fast that went right over the top of us, the pilot added. And notice he said that it went over them really fast because the chariots fly at high speeds. Okay? Speeds that Esau can't detect. All right, and if it was a cruise missile, then you know, Esau's his missile defense systems would have picked it up, and his technology would have picked it up, but they can't detect the chariots because the chariots are flying on Yahawah Bahashim Yahweh Shai's radar, man. It says American Airlines confirmed that the radio call came from one of its flights, but deferred further questions to the FBI. Following a debrief with our flight crew and additional information received, we can confirm this radio transmission was from American Airlines Flight 2292 on February 21st, the airline company said. So it seems like they're just now reporting it today. Maybe it did happen a few days ago and now they're just reporting it. But I want to watch this one more time and then I want to go into a different article.
to a mystery in the skies over New Mexico. An American Airlines pilot flying from Kentucky to Phoenix last weekend called air traffic control to report a close encounter with an unknown object. Take a listen.
Now, what do they call UFOs? Unidentified flying objects. And they know this was a chariot, but they downplaying it. You know? The pilot probably was afraid, and a lot of these pilots see the chariots all the time, man. And they probably tell them not to say nothing. You know? They probably encounter chariots all the time. The chariots probably play around with the pilots, man. Play with their minds. You know, the angels messing around with these devils, man. You never know. But I'm pretty sure these pilots see things that they don't say nothing about. And this pilot was probably afraid. That's why he reported it on the live air.
Have any targets up here? We just had something go right over the top of us that, I hate to say this, looked like a long cylindrical object. It almost looked like a cruise missile type of thing moving really fast that went right over the top of us.
American Airlines confirms that radio call was real but had no further comment. The FBI says it's aware of the incident and is looking into.
And you can see how at the end of the video, how these two women, they downplay it, you know, like it's a joke. You know, he, ha, ha. But when the chariots really show themselves, when Yahawah cracked them skies, they're not going to downplay it then. Better believe that.
Add to the list of things on our minds. X-Files music right now.
Alright, so this article here says UFO sighting, ? Airlines pilot reports mysterious object during Phoenix bound flight. And it pretty much goes into the same thing, I believe. You know. So, let's go into the sword. The chariots, man, it's a beautiful thing, man. And when we see the chariots, we're going to rejoice. You know? Isaiah 66:15, it says, "For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many." Okay, so when Yahawah returns, alright, the scriptures say, he coming with the clouds. He's coming with the chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. Why? Because ultimately the Lord is angry, man. Alright? Salakia. I think it's Zechariah. Flying roll. Zechariah 5:1. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then he said unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth from over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side, Salakia, according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. Alright? And I want to get what is that? Acts 1. Acts chapter 1 and verse 9. Alright, it says, "And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received them out of their sight." That's that chariot. "And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahawah, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven." Alright, and that's going to be fulfilled in Revelations, the 1st chapter, in the 7th verse. Alright, scriptures on the chariots, man. You know? But this pilot, like I said, he saw that chariot and he had to call in on it, man. He said, I just seen this cylinder-like object going really fast. So I thought this was, if you brothers haven't seen it, I thought I'd bring it to your attention. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah Shemi Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone that rule well. This the brother Zion signing off. Shalom.